Yay Networks.
Hi, Wild Ones. Welcome back to the Wild Rose podcast. I'm Whitney Rose.
And I'm Connie Daniels.
And Connie, it's been a minute.
I know, listeners, we did take a little break, but don't worry. We are back with a really exciting guest for everybody. Guess who we have on our show today? Well, Whitney knows. So
I'm like, wait, Connie, we must be getting really delusional. But no, we're really excited for our guest today. It's
Captain Lee from Below Deck.
Yes, and Connie and I are both big fans of him. Connie, if everyone remembers, you were on one of his charters.
Yes, I was. Season 10, episodes 1 and 2.
And where did you go again?
We went to St. Lucia. So we were the first guests on this charter with a whole new crew. And yeah, they were trying to pull it together. We had a blast, and it was quite the experience. We had so much fun. So I'm so excited to have Captain Lee back on to touch base with him, see what he's doing, because he retired that season.
Yeah,
that was
last season. Yeah. And you got to spend, I would say, because I watched the show, I watched Below Deck Mediterranean. It seemed like he spent a lot of time with your group.
With our group, yeah. We got to have dinner with him, share his favorite wine with him. He was kind of injured. He came in on crutches that day. So you could tell he wasn't feeling that good, but he made the most of it for sure.
But he's amazing.
He is amazing.
Yeah. I've been a huge fan of him forever. I've watched all of the Below Deck seasons. Everyone knows that I'm a Bravo junkie. And I got to meet him at BravoCon. I know we've already talked about it, but I sat next to him at one of the Watch What Happens Live BravoCon whatever you call it. Yeah, Watch What Happens Live. And my hair kept getting stuck in my eyelashes, my fake false lashes. So he helped me fix my hair. Sweetest man alive. His wife was there. So yeah, we're so excited to have on Captain Lee today. I don't know if you remember Connie and I, but you have actually met both of us. So
okay.
I sat next to you at Watch What Happens Live at BravoCon last year. And you were helping me fix. My hair got stuck in my eyelashes, and you helped me get it out. I don't know if you remember that on stage. I was sitting to your left. Yep. And then Connie's actually been on one of your charters.
Yep. We came to St. Lucia your last season, season 10, episodes 1 and 2.
Yes. Yeah, that was.
Do you remember us?
That was a tough one.
Why was it tough?
I hope it wasn't as tough on you as it was on me.
Watching the show, we had no idea all that stuff was going on, on Below Deck. But we had a great time. I had no idea that all that drama was going on with everyone trying to get it together.
Then we pulled it off. We did our jobs well.
You did.
You always do. I've been a big fan of Below Deck since your first season. So I've watched all of your seasons. I actually watched you before I even entered the Bravo world. So really? I'm a big fan. So thank you so much for taking the time today.
No, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here with both of you.
Listen, in Utah, you're an icon because we get stuck here in snow and bad weather, and we don't have really any ocean near us, so
we turn our TV on.
And watch Below Deck Mediterranean.
It does get cold out there down here.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm not a big cold weather fan.
You're what? You're not a cold weather man?
No, I was born in Michigan and spent 25 years there, and then said, "Yep, I've got to go where the weather suits my clothing."
I love it.
I hear you. I'm about to do that.
Indeed.
Well, when we were on your charter on season 10, you shared with us how you got into yachting, and I thought it'd be interesting for all of our listeners to hear from you how you got into yachting and how you got casted on Bravo, on one of the biggest hit shows on Bravo.
I didn't exactly take the normal route, because the normal route is you go through casting and the casting call and the videotapes and the interviews and all the rest of that. And I didn't do any of that. I wasn't even supposed to be on the show. And
Really?
so all I was supposed to do, my boss called me up. I was at the Miami Boat Show. My boss called me up and he says, we got a 2-month charter down in St. Martin. And I said, great. 2 months? I said, with the same people? And he said, no, this is a television show. They want to charter the boat. He said, all you have to do is take the boat down there, drop it off. They've got you a house on the beach. You can bring Mary Ann down with you. I'll still keep you. You're going to still work for me. He said, but you're going to also work for the TV network, so you're going to get paid double. So
Wow.
automatically, I'm like, put me in, coach.
Yep.
And all you have to do is go down and check on the boat every 3 or 4 days when they come back from charter and make sure they're not tearing it up. He said they've got their own captain. They've got their own crew. He said, so, I mean, it sounded like heaven to me.
I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah,
8
twice
weeks,
the pay
8 weeks
for
in
half
St.
the
Martin,
work.
getting paid double, drinking foo-foo drinks on the beach. I said, yeah.
Yeah, and you get to bring your wife. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, but then what happened?
Well, we found out that the captain they hired, Alex, well, he had a big enough license. He didn't have enough experience. So our insurance company said, nope. And insurance companies really do rule the world. So they just said, you can self-insure if you want to use this guy, but we're not going to insure him. Because the biggest boat he had run up to that point, I think, was 60 or 70 feet. And all of a sudden they thought we were going to toss in the keys to 170 feet.
Wow.
And they weren't overly fond of that. So they said, well, guess we'll use the old guy. And
little did they know they fell upon a superstar.
I don't know about all that, but we managed to get
Yes,
through the
it is
season.
true. It is true, Captain Lee. You are an icon.
Well, thank you so much. You're much too kind. It was really comical because when we'd wrapped filming, they sent it to New York out of post, and New York said, well, where's the captain? And the person from Bravo who was in the field with us said, well, I made a in the field decision to kind of shoot around him because we don't have any old people on Bravo. We don't have any people with gray hair. Everybody's young, beautiful, and hot. And they sent it back and they said, re-edit the whole thing.
We need Captain Lee.
So we need the captain there. So they had to go back and redo the storyline, redo everything. And that's why it took almost a year and a half for it to come out.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was beginning to wonder if it was ever going to come out. But it did.
So, yeah, it did, and the world loved it.
That's the part that I don't think anyone was prepped for. They weren't prepared for it to be such a huge hit. And it seemed like when I checked the numbers, they never went down. After the first year started, I think we came in at like 1.3 million or 1.4 million on the overnights.
Wow, that is huge for a first time show. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was asking the producers, one of the producers, I said, what would be a good number for them to say, we're going to greenlight a second season. They said, if you're solid around 750, 800,000, that'll probably get you a season 2. And then when the numbers came in, everybody just went. And then when the +3s and the +7s came in, it really got crazy.
Yeah. So that the crew then was the crew. That was the crew that was already decided, and you just stepped in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually the captain on the boat. that they chartered to do the show. I just wasn't the captain that Bravo wanted.
Until they saw you. And then they
And
were
saw their
like, this
numbers.
is, and saw their numbers. Yes.
Even after they saw me, but it was after the series had already been shot that they decided that I might have some potential.
Well, we have Bravo to thank for Captain Lee because it is still one of my favorite shows. I've rewatched a few. And I'm just curious, you know, besides Connie's Charter, season 10, besides your experience with her, what was your, you know, because I've seen a lot of your, you know, scary moments, a lot of really good moments. What would you say is your favorite or best memory of Below Deck? Like, what was your favorite experience of doing Below Deck?
I think getting through season 1, because nobody knew what we were doing, because it had never been done before. Nobody had ever filmed a TV series on a moving boat that was actually going out into the ocean. And then how do you transport the camera crew and the production crew and everybody back and forth every night, twice, 2-3 times a day? So there was a lot of moving parts that we were kind of working out on the fly.
Was that a lot of, I would imagine that was a lot of pressure on you and your crew, because I know how it is for Housewives, like the production, it can get in the way, especially if something technical is going on, like you're running a boat. And was that hard? Was that a lot of pressure, or did they stay out of your way for the most part?
No, the way I went about it was, I'm just going to go ahead and do my job, and you guys with the cameras, you do your job. And as long as you don't physically get in my way when I have to go somewhere, I said, we're all good.
Yep.
I was just a captain doing my job. That's all.
And that translates. You can tell that you were just you. You were so authentic, consistent. You're Captain Lee. And that's why I think the world loves you so much. Did you have a favorite like a favorite crew or a least favorite crew? I mean, I know who your favorites from what my perspective is watching the show, but do you have a favorite crew or a least favorite crew? Or do you not dare say?
Well, no, well, if you watch the show, then you know that I don't have much of a filter. So, yeah, I mean, there's been crew members that I really haven't liked at all. Some of them are, you know, usually they didn't last that long. I think as far as a chief stew goes, Kate would be my favorite.
Yep.
And her and I really got along together, and I always appreciated her very quick wit and just razor sharp tongue. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying your show together. Your couch show that you're doing with her.
Couch talk, yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. She is very witty.
Yeah, and we seem to work well together in that aspect.
You do. You have a great working chemistry, and I think you're both just no nonsense people, and that comes through. You don't tolerate nonsense, is how I see it. And you're both quick-witted, sharp tongues. I love it. But you're hilarious.
What was fun working with Kate was that you could just, you know, I could just give her a task, give her a job to do, and then walk away from it. I never had to be concerned with, are we going to get it done? Are we going to get it done on time? Is it going to be right? Because it always was.
Well, no wonder she's your favorite. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, she's a hard worker, and she was witty and very entertaining to watch too. I have not had the chance to meet her yet. I hope. Are you going to be at BravoCon this year?
Both of us will be there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully I run into you and I can meet Kate too.
That would be great.
Yeah. So what do you have? Yeah, do you want to ask this one?
So besides Whitney here, of course, do you have a favorite Bravo celebrity or housewife?
Yeah, like I would say, do you have a favorite housewife or Bravo celebrity and your least favorite?
Gosh.
And why?
My least favorite is probably Ramona.
Ramona.
Just drives me up a wall.
Who would
She
be
really
your favorite?
does.
Yeah, she, I have not met the woman, but I ask these questions often to our guests, and I would say she's definitely always in the top 5 for sure of least favorite.
Yeah, Ramona's. Yeah, I like. I'm kind of partial to the girls from Real Housewives, the original Housewives in New York. I'm a little partial to those girls, and I like the original Housewives show. What was it, Orange County, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
Orange
that's
County.
the first one.
I think so.
But to pick one out individually, that'd be too tough.
Yeah.
There's a lot to pick from.
Yeah, there's a lot of great. For as many as there are bad, there's more good, I would say. There's a lot of great people at Bravo.
There's some of them that usually when the decibel level in the first 5 or 10 minutes reaches, past 40 or 50, I'm like, whoa.
Then you've had enough.
But you guys had some fireworks this year.
Yeah, Salt Lake City we've had fireworks every year. We've had, one of my castmates is in prison right now. She is, we've had feds storm a bus on a girls' trip. We've had accused cult leaders. We've had a lot. And this season 4 that's airing right now, you haven't even seen the fireworks yet. So it'll be
I can't wait.
after BravoCon. Yeah, it's a good one.
I have to ask you a question. What's with Ms. Cosby? Why is she always just like hanging away apart from the group? Like it seems like she never wants to get involved. Maybe with one or two, but she doesn't. If it's a group thing, like when you guys had the snowball fight.
Yeah.
And she was inside.
On it. She was inside. Whenever we're doing anything, she's sitting on the bus. She's sitting across the room at the bar. She doesn't like us. So I honestly have no idea why she shows up. And she, on her most recent Watch What Happens Live with Andy, she said she shows up to help Andy. So that's why she comes around, is she believes in her mind that she's helping Bravo out.
Boy, that might be an overinflated sense of self-value.
Yeah, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit, right? Yeah. No, I don't know. And she has it out for me. She's so nasty to me. I think she mistakes my kindness for weakness. So this reunion, if she chooses to show up this time, she didn't show up season 2. I don't know how she's even back, because you know how the formula works. If you don't show up to reunion, you're done. But they brought Miss Mary Cosby back, so I hope she shows up.
Reunions are when you finish all the unfinished business.
And typically that is the biggest requirement to receive your paycheck. So yeah, we'll see. I hope she decides to show, but you just never know with her. We'll see if she chooses to leave her closet this time or not.
She's very unpredictable, I find.
Very, very unpredictable. So I know you have a lot going on in your life right now, even though you've left the reality world, if you will, and you're starting a podcast. But I just want to know, because as a reality personnel, I've only been in this 4 years. You have a lot more. You have a lot more experience than I do. But I talk to a lot of Bravo celebrities, other people in different reality shows, and you kind of fantasize, like, what would life be like outside of reality TV? Like when you choose to walk away or you're let go, like, what is life like outside of being on a show, outside of being on a reality TV show? I know you're starting a podcast, which we're super excited to hear about.
It's kind of like your virginity.
In how?
Once you lose it, it's gone. So
it's gone.
Your anonymity, once you lose it, forget about it. It's never going to be the same again. You're never going to be able to just walk into a restaurant, sit down, and have a nice, quiet evening because it's not going to work. And I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously there are a lot of perks to being a Bravo celebrity. And I've never considered myself a celebrity. I just
you
still
are a
consider
celebrity.
myself. I don't look at me that way.
I know what you mean. And that's why we love you, because you're humble. But you're a big time celebrity. Everyone knows who you are.
No,
So you're
thank you
saying
so much.
you lose your privacy forever. People are just gonna love you forever and want to come up to you forever.
People
But
follow me
that's
home and
good.
drive in my driveway. It's like,
Are you
Okay,
serious?
that's crazy.
yeah. I just want to go out and wash my car. You know, I wash my own car. So I want to go out there and just wash my car. And you can't, because
People come into your
somebody's going
driveway
to
while
drive.
you're washing your car.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's
What is
like,
your craziest fan encounter?
I think
Do you have just one?
one of my most humbling experiences was the first time I got recognized out in public. And you know how when somebody's watching you from across the room and you feel like somebody's watching you, and the minute you turn to look at them, they look away?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, this was going on with the table at a restaurant we were at, back and forth. And finally, one of them got the nerve to come up and ask if they could take a picture with me. And I said, sure, no problem. And then that kind of opened up the floodgates. And so after about 15 minutes of this, the little bus girl, she couldn't have been more than like 16 or 17. And she was from Latin America. And she asked if she could have her picture taken with me as well. And I said, sure. I said, not a problem. So she took her picture. And then about 20 minutes later, she came back and she's got a pen and a piece of paper. And, you know, most people don't ask for autographs. They ask for pictures.
A selfie. Yeah.
So I said, sure. I said, what do you need? And she goes, well, she says, I know you're somebody famous, but I don't really know who you are. Could you write your name down here so when I show people a picture, I can tell them who you are?
That's amazing. That's so sweet.
That will bring you right down to earth in a hurry.
Yep. Yeah. That you have a line of people wanting to take photos with you, and I've actually done that before. Like, I've seen someone getting like a line formed in public, and I'm like, is that someone famous? Is that an actress, an actor? Like, what? Like, I definitely know that feeling. I'm like, should I go ask for a photo and figure it out later?
Figure it out later. I love it.
Yeah. So I've actually been that bus girl before, and it ended up being a rapper.
Really?
I figured it out. Yeah.
See, that would be somebody outside of my realm that I sit down next to them on a flight and wouldn't know who they were.
Yeah. Well, I think that you are definitely one of the most loved celebrities on Bravo TV, and I know you're like. Tell us a little bit about your podcast. What is it called, and like, what are you going to focus on?
It's called Salty.
Ooh, Salty. That's perfect.
I think that's appropriately named because
yes.
As people know, I can be a wee bit salty at times.
Yes, and we love to see it.
We're going to focus on, a lot of Bravo stuff and just weird things that you don't see every day or you don't hear every day.
Ooh, like I like that.
We picked up on something that we talked about the other night on the latest version of it, that on the Golden Bachelor, they're making the women sleep in bunk beds.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
I didn't know that either.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the guy's like 72 or 73, something like that. And all the girls are, 68 to 72. And one of them.
How are they getting in and out of the bunk beds? That would hurt. That would hurt at my age.
One of them, which I couldn't hold it together because they said in the article that she loved to be quite active in a sexual way. Oh, and by the way, she had to have both knees replaced with artificial knees. And I just laughed.
Listen, I guess technically then she's probably gained 30 years. She's gone 30 years back, right? If she has new knees.
Yeah.
There's a lot more miles left in her now.
A lot more miles left.
Got a new set of wheels.
That's right.
But that's the kind of thing that you're going to come up with, that we're going to come up with on my podcast, is some different stuff. We'll have some guests on. We're starting to get into that realm of it, but just some out of the ordinary things that I find humorous. I've got a segment called "What Would Captain Lee Do?" And then there's a segment that we use sometimes, the things that just piss me off. That's a very target-rich environment right there, because there's a lot of things out there that
a
just
lot of content there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that piss you off.
One of my favorite things is when you would just cuss someone out.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember my favorite Captain Lee cuss out. When you just lose it, and I love when you just have your one-liners. And your name calling is beyond. You would be a great housewife.
Would I?
Oh, yeah. You would be a great housewife.
That's never been done before. Maybe I ought to give that a whirl.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Maybe come out of retirement and let's make this work.
Well, I've got actually, since I'm not on Below Deck at the present time, I think I've been busier now than I was before. Because I've got the podcast, and then I've got the show that Kate and we just wrapped that up, and which I think will be back next year for another go round of Couch Talk.
I'm sure it will. It's great.
That seems to be pretty well received. And then I've got a one-man show that I do.
Really? What is that?
Yeah. And we did it here in Hollywood, Florida, at the Hard Rock Casino, and it went over pretty well. And basically, it's me on stage with some photographs and slideshows and things like that, just telling my story. We play a lot of games. We go through a lot of audience participation, which
amazing. I bet that gets interesting. If you give a mic to the audience, you never know what's going to happen.
You think I don't have a filter? I mean, some
Whitney
of these people.
We got to take a trip out here.
Yeah, we got to
be in
come
the
see
audience.
The next one I'm going to do in Vegas.
Oh, fun! Where at?
Right, November 2nd.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I fly in on the 2nd for BravoCon.
Well, you're more than welcome.
We'll have to,
You're more than welcome to attend if you'd like.
Yeah,
where you get VIP tickets.
Yeah, give me the details. Yeah, I would love to come.
It's going to be at the Westgate Resort Casino and Hotel.
Okay.
And 7:30 that evening, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. Some cocktails, obviously. That's the name. The name of the show is called Nightcap.
Oh, perfect. I'll be there. I would love to buy a ticket to that.
You won't have to buy one. Come as my guest.
Okay. Oh, thank you. It means the world to me. But yeah, I'll be there. I land around 4, so I would love to come watch your show. Connie might have to just fly on down too.
It sounds like I might have to.
Or drive. Yeah. It takes the exact same amount of time to drive to Vegas from Salt Lake City as it does to go to the airport and get on the plane.
There should be a law against that.
I know.
There really should. Oh, and the other thing that just happened is we just launched a clothing line of
like
casual wear. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
It just popped up on the website. We launched it yesterday. just kind of a soft landing. And
Congratulations. What's the
thank you.
website?
CaptainLee.com.
Oh, perfect. We'll make sure to include all of your details in the description of this podcast. So everyone,
Cool.
I'm sure they already know where to find you, but for those who don't, we'll link your website and your podcast here so they can
things have been
follow
busy.
you.
Sounds like
Yeah.
it, for sure.
We don't really have a name for it. It's just casual wear, some hoodies, some sweatshirts, T-shirts. Some of the T-shirts have some of my colorful sayings on them.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
We're gonna have to look these up.
Yep, we're gonna get ourselves some T-shirts and some of your clothing to wear when we film these podcasts. So, well, is there anything else you'd like to share? We don't want to take too much of your time today, but it's been great chatting with you. Do you have anything else you want?
It's been lovely chatting with you too.
I'm excited to come hear you in Vegas. Sorry, go ahead. I stepped on you. There's a bit of a lag on my end. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. Well, we're a few miles apart.
We are.
Yes, we are.
No,
Florida.
I've been very busy, so it's been a lot of fun, and I'm still enjoying it.
Good.
You know, somebody said, "When are you going to retire?" And I thought, I think retirement's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I mean, you can only go fishing so many days a week. You can only play golf so many days a week. You can only travel so many weeks out of the year. And it just, you guys know what it's like living out of suitcases and getting on planes and having to be point A to point B at a certain time. And it's just like, so
it's not good for your, it's honestly not good for your health, the amount of stress that my grandpa, he says it best. He just turned 92. We just celebrated his 92nd birthday. He owns a cattle ranch here in Utah.
Right.
My family's all farmers. He bred racehorses, and he still at 92 runs, I think it's like 400 to 600 head of cattle. And whenever anyone asks him how he does it, he said he never stopped working. He feels like the second that he sits down and stops is the day he'll die.
I think your grandfather's a very wise man, because I've often said to my, to people, to anybody that'll listen, when I stop working, I said, that's probably when they're going to start throwing dirt.
I think it's a true statement. Like, it's, keep going, keep moving. Age is just a number. I think it's how long you want to be here on earth. Unless, there's things that happen out of our circumstances, but out of our control, not circumstances. But yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, Captain Lee, and I will see you at your show, November 2nd.
Whitney, I'm looking forward to it. Connie, it's been a slice.
Yes. So good to see you and chat with you today.
Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes.
It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Per usual, such a sweet man. He's such an icon and one of the biggest celebrities on Bravo. That was so cool to talk to him.
It really was. Yeah. Such a nice guy and has so much going on. I had no idea he had so much going on. All I knew is he was retired, but not really.
It sounds like he's working more. I wonder if it's because when you're filming, it's like a chunk of time. Mm-hmm. And now he has these projects that are, more day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm so proud of him. Like, that's
me too.
It proves that when you sell your soul to reality TV, there is a payoff.
There is a payoff. There's light at the end of the tunnel, Whitney.
Light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sad that I'll never get to go on one of his charters, but I have my eyes set on Captain Sandy now. I'm gonna get on one of her charters.
Yes. Make sure you invite me.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm excited to go. I really am gonna go to a show on November 2nd because I get in time.
Yes. So fun.
I'm gonna follow up with that. But
gosh, I really might just drive down there or fly down. For real.
Just for the night. Fun. You can stay in my room with me. That wouldn't be weird at all. We'll put Justin on the couch.
Right.
And you can sleep in the bed.
He'd really appreciate that.
Okay, well,
we want to thank all of our listeners for liking, subscribing, sharing our podcast with your friends, your family. Please leave us a review. It definitely helps our show out. And, until next time, Whitney.
Yeah, until next time. And Connie's been killing it on TikTok, so go follow our
TikTok.
Wild Rose podcast TikTok.
And our Wild Rose Instagram
and YouTube. We've been,
Wild Rose yeah. We're finally getting all of our behind the scenes, our little clips and everything in one spot. So
yes,
yeah, it's kind of fun. It's fun to look back.
It is.
It's been almost a year.
Almost a year.
Here we are.
It's flown by.
I know it.
Yeah, and we couldn't have done it without all of you. So we love you, and don't forget, be you, stay wild.
Yay Networks.